tracking your weekend forecast hour by hour at 4.
Every day at 4, WESH 2 News is in your community, covering the stories for Central Florida. Nancy Alvarez, Jesse Pagan, and First Warning meteorologist Cam Tran. WESH 2 News at 4. Local, live, late breaking.
Severe weather impacts all of us.
That's why WESH 2 First Warning Weather is dedicating next week to Florida's severe weather. From hurricanes to tornadoes, lightning, and extreme temperatures.
It's never too soon to be prepared.
Next week on WESH 2 News.
Next at 4, firefighters in a local county rallying for a pay raise. The obstacles they have to overcome before seeing more money. Plus, a local mall preparing for a new future. We explore the last hours of a once thriving shopping center. Moment of impact, our clearest view yet of the D.C. collision and the changes underway to prevent another crash.
Plus, the co-pilot's connection to Central Florida, the local training he got, and how his family is remembering the young life lost. And breaking news, sentencing day in the murder of a local veteran. The punishment just handed down in court.
And the end of an era, it's closing time as a major Central Florida mall prepares for a big facelift.
WESH 2 News starts right now.
First at 4, the nonstop search in the Potomac. Live pictures now from D.C. as crews continue to look for bodies after that deadly collision in the skies. And this is a live look at the podium in Washington, D.C. right now, where at any moment the National Transportation Safety Board is set to give us an update on the investigation. We will bring it to you live as soon as it starts. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nancy Alvarez.
I'm Jesse Pagan. The recovery effort enters day 2. We have team coverage. WESH 2's Pamela Combe has new information on the co-pilot of that American Airlines flight and the training he got here in Central Florida. But we begin with Summer Knowles with the latest on the investigation. Summer.
Hey guys, well, those rescue teams are working to find every last victim. At this hour, investigators say they have recovered 41 of the 67 bodies from the Potomac River. We are also getting our clearest view now of the collision. New security video here shows the Army helicopter coming from the left over the Potomac Wednesday night before colliding with that American Airlines flight. Now, we did stop the video right before the moment of impact, but it goes on to show both aircrafts then plunging into the Potomac River. Meanwhile, the Federal Aviation Administration has closed routes near Reagan National Airport to most helicopter traffic. That includes low-to-the-ground routes that run under or parallel to the airport's flight paths. Now, this all comes after a preliminary report by the FAA noted that staffing in the tower was not normal during the time of crash. Normally, one controller handles airplane traffic while another deals with helicopters. But apparently at this time, those two roles have been combined. Now, that is something that happens and is considered acceptable under FAA safety guidelines, but experts say it's not ideal. The actual cause of the collision remains under investigation right now, but authorities have recovered the plane's 2 flight data recorders to try and get a better idea of exactly what went wrong. We'll stay on top of it and bring you any updates we get. Jesse, Nancy, back to you.
All right, Summer, thank you. Now we know both men in the cockpit of that American Airlines flight learned how to fly here in Central Florida. Jonathan Campos was the captain. Sam Lilly was co-pilot. And today we're learning more about Lilly's training. WESH 2 Volusia County reporter Pamela Combe live in Daytona Beach with what we're uncovering today. Pam.
Well, Jesse, Lilly, the co-pilot, went to school right here in Volusia County. He moved to Daytona Beach in 2019 to attend ATP flight school. His dad says he was following in his footsteps, and the family today is devastated. And we did speak with Lilly's mom on the phone. She is, of course, heartbroken. She did fly out to D.C. as recovery efforts continue. Covering Volusia County live in Daytona Beach, Pamela Combe, WESH 2 News.
Look from the Potomac, where crews continue to search for the victims. You see it there. 41 of the 67 people who died have been found. In the last few minutes, we've learned a news conference with the National Transportation Safety Board is set to start at 5:30. When it happens, we'll bring it to you live.
All right, while we wait on that, we want to get you up to date here on the forecast here in Central Florida. Remember when it was winter like 5 minutes ago? It has really warmed up. Here's a live look from the WESH 2 studios where we are approaching the 80s today. I'm in the Weather Center now with meteorologist Eric Burris tracking those temperatures for us. What a warm up.
It has been such a nice rebound from that winter last week. Made it to 81 thus far as a high temperature. Last time we were here, Nancy, was the day after Christmas. so it's been more than a month. Not record-setting today. That record is 86, set back in 1982. But plenty warm, and because of that, just look at New Smyrna Beach. It's not to summer levels, but it is a Friday in January, and people are out there, and I believe they've been enjoying the UV rays, right? Lots of sunshine, temperatures hanging out in the lower 80s. We made it to 84 degrees in parts of Brevard County today, as a matter of fact. 80 right now in Orlando, it's 83 in the Villages, and 79 in Ocala. So for us tonight, mainly clear skies to start, but we'll add in clouds, add in even the mention of a few passing showers, and add in fog. And that will impact you when you head out the door tomorrow morning. We will discuss your full weekend forecast, starting with fog and showers, and then getting into sunshine. Central Florida's certified most accurate forecast in a couple minutes.
All right, Eric, now to some breaking news in Orange County, where a judge sentenced a man for the murder of a veteran.
Police say Sean Ingram shot and killed Joseph Torres because he was upset Torres was trying to pass him on a sidewalk. WESH News tonight, Gibber Gettigas, live at the Orange County Courthouse in downtown Orlando with that sentence today. Tonight.
Well, 29-year-old Sean Ingram will spend the rest of his life in prison. A judge gave him the life sentence about 1 hour ago after hearing emotional testimony from not just the victim's family, but also from Ingram's loved ones. Now, Ingram, who also served in the military, shared some last words with the judge and the victim's family. He apologized to them, but didn't really show much remorse. Instead, he said he acted in self-defense when he shot Torres. And when the judge announced the life sentence, he said it was ultimately Ingram's actions that have forever changed the lives of both families, and said these two men who served for their country could have gotten to know each other and become friends. We'll have more of the emotional testimony later at 5 and 6. Covering Orange County, live in Orlando, Snega Brigadicus, WESH 2 News.
All right, tonight, thank you. A 13-year-old boy is now in trouble accused of taking a BB gun that deputies say looked like a real one to school. This is the BB gun deputies say the teen brought to Buddy Taylor Middle School on Wednesday. They found it after investigators say school officials overheard two students talking about a student who had a gun. Deputies found it inside the teen's backpack. They say the orange tip wasn't on the BB gun, which they say made it look like a real gun.
Chopper 2 over a deadly crash early this morning in Orange County. This is on Rhode Island Woods Circle near Fairway Glen Drive. That's in the Meadow Woods area. Troopers say an SUV was starting to turn onto Fairway Glen when a car behind it tried to pass it, but then ended up hitting it before going off the road and hitting a wall. The driver was killed. The driver of the SUV was not hurt. A new push for higher pay for first responders in Brevard County.
Firefighters tell WESH 2 they can't stay fully staffed because pay is too low and they're losing people to better paying jobs. WESH 2's Megan Moriarty is live in Brevard County after talking with reps from the fire union. Megan.
And right now, for example, Brevard County Fire Rescue, those firefighters, they make about $15 an hour. For comparison, in Orlando, a firefighter can make between $20 and $30 an hour. These firefighters say that they want a competitive wage, but some county commissioners argue that's going to cost the taxpayers a lot of money. The fire union says that right now, public safety is at risk. The union and county are at impasse right now, which means that the two parties are unable to come to an agreement. So they're at a standstill. A hearing is still yet to be determined. A public meeting to discuss the issue was canceled this week. And as a result, the fire union is hosting a rally next Thursday to speak with the public and what they say put their pleas out there to the Brevard County commissioners. Covering Brevard County, live in Viera, Megan Moriarty, WESH 2 News.
Megan, thank you. A cool thing happened on the way to the moon when a new lander launched from the Space Coast caught on the way to the surface.
Plus, the Force is no longer with this Disney hotel, but it's being reimagined. What the future holds for the former Galactic Star Cruiser. Michelle?
Seminole Town Center, as we know it, has closed. Last day it's open, but coming up, I'll tell you which stores are sticking around and the plans to move it forward.
Closed captioning brought to you by National Floors Direct.
For decades, they were the spot to hang out and shop. Many of us even got our first jobs at them. Nowadays, though, malls aren't what they once were. Places like Fashion Square and the Oviedo Mall are shells of their former selves, trying to reimagine and reinvent to revive business. And at the same time, same is about to start happening at another major shopping landmark, the Seminole Town Center.
Yeah, most of the mall officially closes today as ownership is about to change hands. Michelle Meredith decided to take one more look inside before some big changes. She's live in Sanford. Michelle, it was so cool to walk around the mall once upon a time. Now it's the end of an era.
I know, it really is the end of an era. And for a few of the stores still left here in the mall, it was moving day. And for a few of the shoppers who really loved the place, it was their last chance to walk the mall for old time's sake. And if Costco comes here, it would be great for Sanford because the closest Costco is in Altamont Springs. Live in Seminole County, Michelle Meredith, WESH 2 News.
Well, they may have to wait another year before heading to the moon, but the crew of the Artemis II is not wasting any time getting ready for their historic launch. Astronaut Jeremy Hansen posted these pictures on X earlier today. Not every day you get an astronaut selfie, so we had to share it with you. Hansen said he and his 3 crewmates spent the last 2 days practicing the first day of the mission and the last day. That is cooler than any selfie we've ever taken, Jesse. And that includes getting into orbit, getting out of their spacesuits, and getting ready for re-entry. Artemis II will fly to the moon, but not touch down on the lunar surface. Launch is set for no earlier than April of 2026.
I was about to say, now why am I in it? But you're right, it is cooler than me. All right, speaking of the moon, check out this video from the lunar. I posted this video of Blue Ghost's view of Earth eclipsing the moon as it continues its orbit. The spacecraft has already clocked more than 700,000 miles in orbit. It's set to touch down on the moon in early March.
All right, let's turn things over now to Eric Burrs. Probably a lot of people taking selfies at the beach today.
I would suspect so. The tower cam has been very, very busy for obvious reasons, right? Yeah, I mean, it's been beautiful. Though I do want to make sure you know we do have a few showers working in. Here's 5 a.m. tomorrow morning on our Futurecast model. You don't see yellows, oranges, or reds. So we're not talking about any threat for strong or severe stuff. But essentially, tomorrow morning, we're going to have fog, clouds, and even some showers moving through the area. Watch the timeline, 7 a.m. Waking up, those showers will be south of the metro, and by 9 o'clock, it starts to move out, and little by little, the skies will clear. So I think for our Saturday, the weather looks fantastic. Then into Sunday, that moisture kind of starts to lift back up. So again, clouds and even a quick passing shower early in the day, and even into the afternoon, maybe a quick passing shower. So just looking at the weekend, there's going to be a cold front in our area. Today's high temperature was 81. Not that warm tomorrow. Wind shift is going to help to bring things down. 73, our high temperature quick passing shower. And then on Sunday, mix of clouds and sunshine, 79, and a quick passing shower. But this is fantastic news for folks wanting to head out to the Pro Bowl. The first couple of years it was here, weather was terrible. Cold, rainy, none of that this weekend. Temperatures into the mid and upper range of the 70s. And aside from a quick passing shower, I think we're going to be doing just fine. Zora Neale Hurston Festival in Eatonville looking fantastic here. Do have to watch for a few showers early on Saturday if you're heading out. And then, of course, there's the Mount Dora Arts Festival. This is a great event. Opens 9 a.m., stays through about 4 p.m., and both days looking just absolutely gorgeous. So for today, it was the lower 80s. Down just a tick for tomorrow, then coming back up Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Look at that, 82, 83 degrees. It's looking absolutely beautiful next couple of days. Had to show this again just because it's so fun, right? Lots of people enjoying the beach. Temperatures along the shoreline, 70s and 80s, same thing across the interior. And while the visible satellite presentation is just about as clear as can be, there's enough moisture that I do think we'll get a little bit of fog developing once again tonight. And there's also quite a few controlled burns around, particularly Sumter, Lake, even Polk counties. And you combine kind of some of the lingering smoke with this and some fog developing in the morning, may have to deal with some particularly thick fog, hopefully not super fog, but we'll definitely be watching the trends. All right, so that said, tonight we have a beautiful sunset. Temperatures continue to drop on off down into the 50s and lower 60s. Fog lifts. It looks beautiful for tomorrow. And then Sunday, temperatures climb into the upper range of the 70s. Remember, Sunday is Groundhog Day, and the old lore is if Punxsutawney Phil sees his shadow, there are 6 more weeks of winter. If he does not see his shadow, winter is over early. We'll have to see how that plays out. Groundhog Day also marks a big anniversary in the Central Florida weather world. We'll discuss that coming up in the next half hour.
Every morning, WESH 2 News Sunrise is here with live coverage of what matters most to you from across Orlando and Central Florida. When it's breaking news you're looking for, we've got it.
Happening right here in Orlando.
When it's an accurate forecast you want, we've got it.
Sunshine this morning, but clouds this afternoon.
When it's a clear view of the road ahead you need, we've got it.
It's impacting those westbound drivers here.
Get up and go with everything you need to know, because we've got it all here on WESH 2 News Sunrise, starting weekdays at 4:30 a.m.
All right, some stunning news from a pro basketball legend, former Miami Heat star Dwayne Wade, revealing he had a cancerous tumor removed. Wade says the tumor was found during a routine checkup and the removal of 40% of his kidney. Wade also revealed he hadn't kept up with regular checkups since retiring from the NBA in 2019, but he decided to see his doctor for a full body exam after his own father underwent surgery.
The Tampa Bay Bucks aren't doing any favors for their former offensive coordinator. ESPN is reporting the Bucks have blocked head coach Liam Cohen and his Jacksonville Jaguars from interviewing members of the Bucks staff for new jobs in Jacksonville. The block comes after Cohen changed his mind and took the job with the Jags after reportedly reaching a new deal to stay with the Tampa Bay as offensive coordinator. All right, taking the pain away without creating a new problem.
Yeah, the new drug just approved by the government that's being billed as non-addictive.
And not so long ago, in a galaxy not so far away, there was a Star Wars hotel at Disney World. But now, there's a new future on the horizon. We'll explain next.
WESH 2 News continues.
Live pictures once again now from Washington, D.C., where the search for bodies continues after that midair collision over the Potomac River. The National Transportation Safety Board is expected to hold a news conference. It's happening at 5:30, and when it begins, we will bring it to you live. Meanwhile, the federal government is making changes to the routes helicopters take near Reagan National Airport to prevent another tragedy.
NBC's Jay Gray is in the nation's capital with a closer look at the new protections being put into place. Concerns over inflation are not dying down. The Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge heated up again in December. The increase was driven largely by rising energy and food prices. Meantime, a key Central Florida Democrat took aim at President Trump today over the White House's plan to freeze billions of dollars in federal funding.
Congressman Darren Soto and local leaders explain the ramifications and impact it had on the local community. WESH 2's Luana Munoz is live in Osceola County this afternoon. So, Luana, you were at today's news conference, and you have more of those main takeaways from what Soto and others had to say.
Absolutely. The congressman called the president's actions this week the Republican ripoff. He said that Congress had already earmarked those funds and that the president didn't have the legal right to touch it. And I did reach out to local Republican leaders about the freeze, but haven't immediately heard back from them. Covering Osceola County tonight, live from the Kissimmee Bureau, I'm Luana Munoz, WESH 2 News.
Tariffs against Mexico and Canada could begin as soon as tomorrow. The president has pledged to slap a 25% duty on imports from both countries. That's expected to put pressure on the bottom line of U.S. automakers that have plants in Mexico, ultimately raising prices of SUVs and pickup trucks. Now, beverages and spirits like tequila and beer also make up a substantial portion of imports, totaling almost $12 billion in trade. The U.S. is also heavily reliant on Mexican agricultural products, including avocados, which see a major spike in demand ahead of the Super Bowl.
The stormtroopers have disappeared from one part of Disney World after the closing of Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser Hotel. But Disney has found a new use for the building.
WESH 2's Christina Watkins tells us how Disney plans to transform it. As we know, Florida has some of the highest home insurance rates in the country.
We've been dealing with the statewide crisis for years now, but hope could be on the horizon. WESH 2 investigates a new partnership that could give your wallet some relief. Next, Eric.
Temperatures today got up there, didn't they? We made it to 82 degrees in Orlando, 84 in Titusville, but there's a cold front on its way. Let's talk about how that will play into your weekend forecast straight ahead.
Florida's chief meteorologist Tony Manolfi on WESH 2 News. What's happening now and what's next? This is the news that matters to you, and it's right here at 5. Michelle Imperato, Jesse Pagan, and First Warning chief meteorologist Tony Manolfi. WESH 2 News at 5. Local, live, late breaking.
The price of homeowners' homes and insurance here in Central Florida. However, many of you tell us you're still paying too much.
WESH 2 Investigates Sheldon Dutez reveals a partnership that could provide relief, along with 2 things you can do right now to lower your costs. All right, talking with your agent about your policy once a year is another great way to learn about coverage options that fit your budget.
For the first time in more than 25 years, the FDA has approved a new type of pain reliever, and they say it's non-addictive. The drug, which will be sold under the brand name Journavax, is a 50-milligram prescription pill. The drug maker says the medicine creates no euphoria like opioids sometimes can, so doctors do not think there's a potential for it to lead to addiction or dependence.
Not everyone needs those potent opioids, even with moderate to severe pain. A large majority of patients need a weak opioid, and this drug is as good as weak opioid. So therefore, it can be very useful.
The new drug is a sodium channel blocker and works by preventing pain signaling nerves around the body from firing in the first place.
All right, just into the newsroom. Check this out. Some scary video out of Cleveland this afternoon. Whoa. Okay. Fire crews were called to an electrical fire outside the Justice Center downtown, when all of a sudden, look at that, something happened, causing an explosion. Heavy smoke forced officials to shut down the Justice Center complex. There were also some power outages. The fire was contained just after noon, and thankfully, no one was hurt. That had to be scary. Wow. All right, we normally don't really talk about weather in Hawaii too much, but check out what storms left behind in Honolulu. What a mess. Emergency crews had to come out after storms knocked down trees onto cars. No reports of any injuries, but businesses at the auto shop, is about to pick up there in Hawaii. Wow.
All right, we kind of mentioned Groundhog Day coming up, and did you know there's more than one groundhog that predicts the weather? We all know Punxsutawney Phil in Philadelphia. Well, there's also Gertie the Groundhog. In fact, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has released a ranking of their most accurate weather groundhogs. Gertie is in the top 5. There's also West Virginia's Concord Charlie, who's never been seen by the public.
Oh, okay.
But the #1 rated groundhog, if you ask, New York's Staten Island Chuck, who apparently has an 85% accuracy rate.
Well, but is Gertie a girl? Because she would be the most accurate of them all.
Staten Island Chuck has a nice ring to it.
I think we here at WESH are the most accurate. I believe.
Right.
I believe.
Sorry.
But, you know, going from kind of a fun topic on Groundhog Day to a not so fun topic, it was 18 years ago that Central Florida had a severe weather outbreak. It feels to me like it was just yesterday.
That was 18 years ago?
Yeah, take a minute, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So 3 tornadoes touched down, unfortunately leaving 21 having lost their lives, and so many others picking up the pieces, from the Villages to Lake Mac over to New Smyrna Beach. That was the 2nd deadliest tornado outbreak in Central Florida history, only in the shadow of 1998. But it's a good reminder that getting into February, we are working our way into Central Florida's severe weather season. The setup for that Groundhog Day tornado outbreak was a cold front moving through. We have a cold front heading our direction. This is an absolutely different scenario, though. This is not an El Nino year. The wind shear is not there. This is moving our direction and will bring us showers, not a threat for severe weather, which is the good news for us today. Did make it up to 82 in Orlando. Not a record or anything like that, but it's the warmest day since the day after Christmas. Tomorrow, 73 degrees, all thanks to that cold front. So how do we set things up? Well, for tonight, it's a very comfortable evening. We will see fog develop once again, even a few showers, waking up to about 62 in Orlando, 61 degrees in the Villages, 59 in Ocala, and 58 degrees in Palm Coast. For tomorrow afternoon, instead of 82 in Orlando, 84 in Titusville, what a difference, right? Average high is 73. We will do exactly that in the city. 68, our high temperature Daytona Beach, 67 in Palm Coast. So it really does look like a pretty nice day. If you're heading over to the beach, just know this. Water temperatures are in the 50s. You will not catch me getting into that. That's just very, very chilly. All right, 7-day forecast showing a bit of a lower temperature tomorrow. For Groundhog Day Sunday, we're back to nearly 80 degrees. And then notice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all of next week, it's 80s. The good news is this weather pattern that we're in does not yield big thunderstorm complexes, okay? So not even talking about storms or anything to that effect. Only a few showers for us this upcoming weekend. For now, it's a clear sky. Absolutely beautiful, but it's warm. That southwest wind is helping to keep the temperatures up there. 82 degrees current temperature. For evening plans tonight, we'll watch a few clouds to start, then a few more clouds, and then eventually the clouds continue to roll in. And take a look at our Futurecast fog tracker. By about 5:30, 6 o'clock, I'll be watching areas of clouds and indeed as well areas of rainfall. So a few showers tomorrow morning to deal with. We'll be here tracking it. The good news is there is no indication, not even a long shot, of anything nasty. So a couple of showers. That's going to be it tomorrow in the morning. Then Sunday throughout kind of midday, morning to midday, could see a shower or two. But after that, it is smooth sailing. An absolutely lovely 7-day forecast. Temperatures running well above average. And I got to tell you, looking at the long-range models through mid-February, we should stay above average. Though late February into early March, the super long-range stuff hints that is when we'll get our next big chill. I'm not holding my breath. I'm just going to enjoy that sunshine one day at a time. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The Magic aren't getting a lot of breaks these days. Orlando got blown out last night by Portland. Final score 119-90. It's the lowest offensive output by Orlando this season. Their West Coast swing continues tomorrow night against Utah.
Meantime, the Pro Bowl games kicked off in East Orlando last night on the UCF campus. The NFC dominated opening night as the All-Stars went through a variety of competitions, including a QB passing test, relay races, and even some dodgeball. Okay.
And it's a big weekend in Eatonville. The Zora Festival is back. The festival focuses on culture, music, and legacy. It all started this morning. Education Day is wrapping up right now. Family Day is tomorrow from 9 to 6, and the Day of Reflection is on Sunday from 10 to 5. And a note for anyone driving through Eatonville, Kennedy Boulevard is closed east of I-4 to Calhoun Avenue through Sunday. And it is really going to be a beautiful weekend for the Zora Festival.
It is going to be very nice outside. All right, WESH 2 News at 5 is next.
Michelle and Prado joins us now with what's ahead.
All right, guys, we continue our team coverage tonight of the mid-air D.C. crash. Our reporters are looking into the latest on the investigation and the stress of being an air traffic controller. Plus,
it's time to remember to be kind. It's time to hug your kids.
we hear from a longtime skating coach who was in Kansas with members of the ice skating community who perished in the D.C. plane crash. And a year after a local priest was shot and killed, allegations of sexual abuse are now surfacing. What WESH 2 uncovered. Next at 5.
Guy on WESH 2 News.